2008 was a year that many investors around the world will want to forget. With plunging home prices and rising foreclosures, the housing problem snowballed into an economic crisis that we haven't seen since the Great Depression, spreading across the globe. Power Lunch takes a look back after the fall of Lehman and when the government stepped in just before a near total collapse of the financial system.
What we are working on now is an approach to deal with the systemic risk and the stresses in our capital markets.
The federal government should interfere in the marketplace only when necessary, given the precarious state of today's financial markets and their vital importance to the daily lives of the American people. Government intervention is not only warranted, it is essential.
We have gotten closer to where we think it ought to be, starting from what they sent us. We're not quite there yet. We are going to continue to work on it.
And we are not sending a blank check to Wall Street.
The government has given us a lifeline. We appreciate the fact that they've done it. We want to repay that loan just as quickly as we can.
This is not a handout to individual institutions. This is trying to make the market as a whole work.
I'm frustrated. The taxpayer is on the hook. The taxpayer is already on the hook. The taxpayer already is going to suffer the consequences if things don't work the way they should work.
We are in the midst of a serious financial crisis, and the federal government is responding with decisive action.
We've experienced significant turmoil in our financial markets in the last few days, including the collapse of Washington Mutual and Wachovia here, and the failure of two major financial institutions in Europe.
Anyone who watched CNBC's coverage saw a direct juxtaposition. One half of the screen showed this House floor. The other half of the screen showed the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. With each new no vote, the Dow lost points and greater panic spread throughout the trading floor.
This is a pain that will stay with me for the rest of my life.
The federal government will use a portion of the $700 billion financial rescue plan to inject capital into banks by purchasing equity shares. This new capital will help healthy banks continue making loans to businesses and consumers.
Today's actions are not what we ever wanted to do, but today's actions are what we must do to restore confidence in our financial system.